Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dead True Podcast. My name's Jimmy.
Steven.
Dawn.
But what was your name again? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Me?
Who?
Which one?
Y'all went at the exact same time. It was crazy. You're like, Don, Steven. I was like, what? So how's everybody's week going?
Good.
Good. So I actually took last week off. I am back. I actually feel rejuvenated. Ready for the camp this weekend, of course. Doing really, really good. How are y'all?
I'm good. Yeah, I wasn't here last week either. I think Dawn's the only one that was here.
No, really? Don and Casey, that's right. And Mr. Baker. It's only every once in a while that Mr. Baker graces us with his presence and makes us feel all good inside and all warm, and then he takes it away again. So did we go over the episodes and stuff? Did we do that, Miss Dawn? Because I know you did.
Yes, we did last week.
Okay. So we were going over, 3 and 4 this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So take us on this journey. What we got going on?
Well, we have Save the Last One and Cherokee Rose.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I forgot what episodes we were supposed to be going over. So.
Oh my gosh, man! You didn't even watch it?
I didn't watch it because last week I wasn't on the show and I dropped the ball. And Dawn's like, "Did you watch it?" And I'm like, "I'm at Walmart shopping." Yeah, I didn't watch it. So yeah, but I remember it. I mean, it's at the high school. Otis died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually there when they filmed that. So I mean, I can go over some behind the scenes stuff you want to.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So like Miss Linda, I know I've told this story many, many times, but we had this custodian named Miss Linda. So when you actually watch some of the walkers running down that hallway, Miss Linda came in there and she started picking up trash off the floor, and they're like, "Don't pick that up, leave it there. It's supposed to be zombie apocalypse." Miss Linda, not knowing what a zombie was per se, the zombie come out of the freaking classroom, and Linda's seen a zombie. She started taking off running down the hallway, and she gets to the end of it, and they got chains on the freaking door of the front door in the lobby. And Linda freaks out and starts running through the freaking lunchroom, screaming bloody murder. And I'm just standing there like, what in the hell is going on? Because we didn't know. And I was supposed to work that night and everything. And we ended up seeing a film that. I actually, first time I ever met John Barenthal was that day. You actually get to see him walking around the school, and they actually filmed some stuff for the San Diego Comic-Con downstairs in the 9th grade building the same time Otis died. So, yeah, all that stuff going on. You can still see it on YouTube this day, this little episode. But there's a lot of stuff going on in that set. It's really, really cool. But that was way back in the day. I was going to say 2013 or 14. Yeah, 12. 2012, yeah. Been a while.
Well, this is jumping ahead some, but Lori really sucked in these 2 episodes. She really started to show her like shitty side, like big time, I thought.
Well, she's always had a shitty side. Ain't no doubt about that.
But I mean, it was like times 10 super mega shitty in these, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
I said this is where all the women started because she was them both.
Oh, definitely. She was giving it to her husband and him. So, like I said, I always felt like he was doing it before the zombie apocalypse started. But I think O'Don feels the same way. How you feel, Steven?
What's that? What was the question?
Go ahead.
Everybody thought that she was giving it to both of them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, before the zombie apocalypse even happened.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one because it showed. Let's see, was it this episode where it showed her at the school when she learned
Um,
to brick, or was that the one before?
That was last week.
Okay, that was last week. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that one. I don't know if they had something going on or not. I know how y'all feel about it,
oh yeah.
Okay, I have a
but
question. Coach.
yeah,
Why do you think Jane shaved his head?
You're breaking up quite a bit. Can
yeah.
you repeat that?
I said, why do you think Jane shaved his head?
Shane,
Shaved his
what?
head. Why did Shane shave his
Oh,
head?
because
Yeah.
Otis grabbed a chunk out of it, and he didn't want anybody asking any questions, and he didn't want to remember it himself. He didn't want to look at it and think about that. You know what I mean?
Now, my question to you is: do you think Shane had to do what he had to do for Carl and Lori
I
as
don't
far
think.
as killing Otis?
I think they both could have made it. That's the big thing I saw when I watched it. I think they both could have made it. They had a lot of space in between them and those walkers.
But do you think that because he had shot Carl, he was pissed at him anyway, and he put him down?
Oh no, I think he did it just to save his ass. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
he's a big old dude.
I mean, if it were me and I was in that position and Levi, a little sweet, was, needing that medicine,
Yeah.
I'd put that dude down too. I ain't known him that long.
Yeah, I
That's
would have done
not
the
your
same, man.
son. But that's not your son.
Oh
Well,
yeah, that's true. That wasn't his son. Yeah.
well, speaking
If it was my best friend's son, I would do the same. I don't know.
speaking from a stepdaddy point of view, I mean, I still look at that. My stepkids as my kids anyway. But seeing that Lori was just some kind of, I know he loved Lori, but I think Lori was just a fling with him. I think that's more or less what it was, and I think he got him a little over his head with it. So I think he fell in love with her, yes, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think it was going on a lot longer, because you just don't fall in love with somebody right during an apocalypse.
Depending on how good it is, you know what I'm saying? It's depending on how good it is. I mean, it is one of them things.
I don't know. I think he's just freaking crazy.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Miss Sweet. Yeah, I think the same thing Steven does. I think, honestly, I don't think he was that crazy. I think he was just more capable of getting through the zombie apocalypse than the next guy.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Negan did compared to what Shane did, and compared to what Rick did. I mean, Negan was a dipshit. So was Shane, but they knew how to get through the zombie apocalypse without a doubt. And Rick was the sweet guy, and he basically, nice guys finish last, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rick's a little naive, or he was in these, like in the episodes we're watching.
Yeah, without a doubt. Put your womanly input in it, Miss Dawn.
On what part?
The whole Shane. What's up, Christy? The whole Shane and Negan, how the zombie apocalypse started. Put your woman input in it to it.
Well, just to me, we really don't know, because Shane didn't experience what they did. Like, Shane just experienced the easy stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't experience a governor. He didn't experience Terminus. He didn't experience Negan. So we really don't know what he would do.
Shane, I think he would have split off and become bad. I mean, full blown bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he would have. I don't know. I'd like to have seen it though.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the Shane situation, not saying you were sleeping with Lori or nothing, but if you were in Shane's situation, you automatically thought that this guy that was supposed to be the leader of the group was leading them the wrong way. What would you do, Steven?
I mean, I would speak up too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Miss Dawn?
Monica said he was already going there without anyone's influence.
Mm-hmm.
True that. Yep. How do you feel about it, Miss Dawn? If you was the raging lady governor, how would you feel about it?
If I was the governor,
The lady governor. You got to say lady governor.
I don't know. I'd probably get killed because I try to see the good in everybody first. So
You've been dead in the first 3 seconds. I love
yes.
you though.
No, because I'd been with Rick and Rick would have saved me.
He did a great job with Lori. I'm just saying.
Well,
Two things.
He can get Lori pregnant. That's not his fault.
Just saying.
Two things that I took from these episodes, and it's probably more so the fourth one, the fourth episode, but Maggie wasn't never really that good of a character, if you ask me, now that I go back and watch. Like, I don't know. Like, her introduction wasn't that great, and her...
I liked her coming in on the horse, kind of like.
And another thing is Glenn just got fucked everywhere. I mean, they sent him down in the well. Like, why did Lori look at him first? I'd have been like, you weigh less than me. You go down in that well.
Why did Lori have to be the boss anyway?
Yeah, she looked directly at Glenn, and that's like, damn, you think I mean, I understand he's good at getting in and out of like towns, but that's a freaking well with a walker at the bottom of it. That's a whole different thing. That was just like, let's sacrifice Glenn. I mean, let's look right at Glenn. I
think Lori looked at Glenn like he was disposable. I think that's more or less what it was.
Well,
and if he died, so freaking what? I think that's what she was. Sure as hell wasn't going to send Shane down there.
If that scene proved anything, that was that. Because I mean, you would think they would send down the lightest person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
the lightest person would have been Beth, then, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. Was she out there?
Yeah.
She was at the farm, but she was damn suicidal anyway.
Yeah, but
that's the problem with her.
I can't remember if she was around the well or not. I would have thought Lori would have been the lightest.
She was not around the well, no. But Lori would have been the lightest out of those people.
Right.
Because you had T-Dog, Glenn, Shane, yeah. So
that's probably why she looked at Glenn. She was probably thinking, I don't want to go. I better look at somebody.
Don't want no part of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that well walker did look like he'd been swole up for a while, so he didn't look appetizing.
Oh yeah, that part I'll never like. That's one of the staples of The Walking Dead for me is seeing the part where it rips in half. Like that was, I don't know. That's just an epic scene, even though it's nasty as all hell.
And we can give a shout out to Brian Gillard because he's the one that played that walker.
Yeah, he was a stunt man. He was actually in the Marine Corps. He had abs of steel, man, and that's why they used him. Brian. Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't hearing the last name. What's the last name?
Hillard.
Me and Greg Whaley is the only couple of guys that's ever got his autograph. We actually mailed it to him because he lives in L.A.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never heard of him. I ain't never looked into it. But yeah, when I see that scene, I always imagine the smell. Like,
yeah. So who was your favorite walkers out of all the walkers ever been on the show?
Oh man, that's tough. I loved the walker that had all the moss, or not moss. What did he have growing on him?
You talking about the tree walker at the bottom of the tree?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's kind of new school though. I'm trying to think of one old school.
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta love Travis as the RV walker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite by far. Yeah.
Yeah, probably that, and I mean, Bicycle Girl. She's got to be up there too.
Yeah, those are the big two for me as well. I like that one, and I also like Addie Miller. Teddy Bear Girl, and you can't forget Kylie Szymanski either. She was governor's daughter. I think they did really good. Remember Savannah did when the governor's daughter had her face covered?
Mm-hmm.
That was Savannah, and whenever her face was uncovered, it was the other girl. So like they both did a great job with that.
Wasn't it like Savannah Wehunt? Is that her name?
Yeah, Savannah Wehunt.
Yeah.
We used to use her for a lot of walker signings back in the day. Really, really sweet girl. She just got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see many of those old school walkers like doing shows or anything anymore. The camp needs to get some of them, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had Travis at the Biter Bash, the first one, and then he didn't return. He's in Vegas right now. What about you,
Mm.
Don? What was your favorite Walker?
I like the Wandering Walker, in the field, and also the purple shirt Walker.
You want to like Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey and Nick Nolte. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. See, there's so many. I don't know. There's so many. I couldn't pick a favorite one, I don't think.
That was the smart Walkers, man. They knew what the hell was going on. They could break shit. That Frank Darabont, man, it gets to me every time.
Oh, I think, are we freezing up?
No, I'm actually good
Are
on
y'all
my
frozen?
side. I'm pretty good.
Hey.
I think. All right, are you freezing up on your side?
Oh, y'all were for me. Maybe it was just my computer.
Maybe so. But yeah, looking into the whole reason why Otis died and everything, and the school scenes and everything. Can you elaborate a little bit more for us, Don, since you watched the episodes?
Elaborate on what?
The episodes that I missed, apparently, because I was at Walmart.
Let Steven do that one, because I just watched Terry Rose, but the other one I watched the day before yesterday.
What?
Okay.
Which? What are we talking about? The ones the 2 or 3 and 4?
Number 3.
Yeah. What were you asking about it?
Okay, elaborate on what the episode meant to you.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. I was more into 4 than I was the third one, I think. I didn't realize how much dialogue was in that third episode.
Yeah.
A lot of let's see. No, yeah, see the episode 4 had the great scene with Herschel where he passes on wisdom to Rick where they're overlooking the land.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what really stood out to me in the third one. I guess like the scenes with Carl and Rick, pushing himself to give blood, even though he might die. I don't know. Yeah, the fourth one was my favorite out of the 2.
The third one, it was the scene with Andrea and Daryl when they went to look for Sophia.
Oh yeah.
And that's where, Daryl was asking her if she still wanted to live. So that kind of stood out. And then also that's where I started not liking Shane, was this episode.
It took you this long not to like him?
Yeah, because I was hoping he would do the right thing. But that's when I started to see the craziness going in his head.
Oh, I mean, you can do some crazy shit when it comes down to, how you feel about somebody. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but we're in a zombie apocalypse.
I get that. I get it.
It's not like and I still think that they were all naive enough to think that everything was going to be okay, like go back to normal. I still think they were there.
Yeah, Jennifer asked when they were at the school when it went from daylight to night, and the timeline was so quick that always got to her. Well, you got to understand that like they had no timeline on that; it jumped pretty far. So if you actually watch the school when they were running through the school, they used the library at that school. They used the old gym because I actually was custodian there for a long time, and they actually used the baseball field where Shane was against that that big fence. That was a part of the baseball field, and they ran up and they used a lot of the flights of stairs. They filmed there for like 2 or 3 days for all that stuff, so they tried to push that timeline as far as they could. I remember when they jumped out the old gym window. They had some bushes there. They actually put those bushes. That was part of the set. It had nothing to do with the school. They caged themselves out in the library. That's actually a real little place, but the cage was not really there. It's pretty cool. I can give you a lot of insight about the behind the scenes stuff on that. That was the very first time I ever was behind the scenes with them, but it was a real cool thing to watch. Of course, back then I didn't think any significance of The Walking Dead at all. I'm like, they got a little show filming. They got zombies. I got to work. I really don't want to, but okay. And it became way bigger than I ever thought it would because that was a real low budget, type thing. But it was real cool. And I never think The Walking Dead would be big as it is watching that set that day because they were really, really small. I mean, really small.
And man, that's the good stuff. That's what I love about these episodes is I don't know, the feel of them. I like that low budget. I don't know. I don't think it works as well now with all the money put into it. Like I don't know. I just like that low budget stuff.
I agree.
Well, this is what I kind of see from it. And you kind of agree with me if y'all want to. When they were low budget and they could afford to put everybody in the same episode, you had the whole group in one episode every freaking week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I miss. I miss that. I miss the cool looking walkers. I miss just them being them. And now you get one episode for Daryl, one episode for Carol, one episode. It just, to me, it breaks it down too much, and they need to bring it kind of back together.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I don't know why they feel like they have to do that now. Like have like 5 or 6 or more than that sometimes episodes of individuals and then bring it together for one big one with everybody kind of in it and then start over. I don't know why they have to do that formula all the time.
I think it comes down to budget, man. If you look at the numbers, like back then, Norman Reedus didn't make that much and Andy Lincoln didn't. But as the show went on, and remember that record-breaking deal Norman got, after that he was in episodes by himself. So when they got to pay him more, they kind of break him down. And I think that's what we got. I think we got to water it down because they didn't want to pay that money out. And I think that was AMC's thing. Remember, Michael Rooker said one time when he was being interviewed, AMC was cheap. That's the reason I died. They didn't want to keep me around. So I think that's more or less, I think that's more or less the reason why.
You think that's why they stretch a lot of it out now too? I mean, like I would almost rather have less episodes.
Well, I think they started stretching. Yeah, I think the reason why they started stretching it out was because they started running out of storyline. The faster they moved, the quicker they got up to the comic book, the more they had to slow the show down. And I think that one episode where it took the whole season for that one episode, I think it was like 7, 6, something like that, where remember they had Alexandria and the big transfer truck hit the wall? I think that's a result of running out of storyline. I think that was a majority of that. What do y'all think?
I don't know. Like I said, I would rather have less episodes and more of like what we're watching now. Or I mean, cut back on some of the CGI and just the high quality, cameras and all that, and just kind of go back to guerrilla style, and then maybe you could even it out with the wages of the actors. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I agree. I think that they should have more dialogue. Like I missed just watching that last episode. I missed the dialogue when they would talk about characters that passed. Because even Lori's like, I wanted to tell Jackie something, and then I realized she wasn't there. We lost her at the CDC. They don't even talk about the old characters to each other that's passed. Like we missed that dialogue that made them that family.
And Daryl actually spoke some in these episodes. I mean, in these days, you know what I mean? Like, does Norman get paid by the word? Because I mean, they need to give him some more. He's great. He's great with that dialogue.
He was funny with it, man. That's what got me. Like some of the episodes, he was just funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I like his progression somewhat, but it's to me like he lost who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just okay. Hey,
it's boom. Mm.
Yes, it's kind of aggravating because I think his character was a whole lot better back then, and we lost a little bit of who he was.
I feel like we're being salty, but I don't know. And maybe it's because we're just watching these old episodes and missing it.
Yeah, we realized they were.
Well, I always go back to this, and these episodes gave it to me too. It gave me that Night of the Living Dead feel, that Romero feel. You know what I mean? Like it was attached to that universe and just kind of gritty. And it's lost that kind of.
Well, you weren't.
Yeah, I agree,
Stephen, but I was talking how we were season 2, episode 1. When you watched it, you felt the intensity, like you were scared. It was like you were watching a horror movie. You know what I mean? With through and everybody underneath the vehicles, the music in the background. Now it doesn't give you that feel to even be scared.
Can I say something that's gonna sound salty, but I don't mean it as it? It's kind of more like a soap opera now than what it
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing, even the walkers have dissipated from what they were, and that kind of you don't have those iconic walkers anymore, and that's kind of depressing.
It's like they got comfortable in their job.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't think they've been woken up yet, because I think they're looking at the numbers crumble and trying to and say, hey, let's go back to the original kind of way things used to be, instead of like, let's just run one last season. And that kind of depressing to me a little bit.
And I mean, I didn't realize Angela Kang had been around that long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kept seeing her names in the credits on all these episodes. I thought she came around with Gimple. So, I mean, I don't know. She's still there doing a lot. I don't know why it's, she hadn't, or why it's changed so drastically. I guess Gimple. I don't know. Is that what it is?
I think Gimple watered the show down a lot. I think that when Clear came up, I like Clear a little bit. Clear was kind of drug out in a good way, but he said, I did really good with that. Let's drag this other thing out. And it just became too much. It became too slow.
Yeah.
I think it's money. Money ruins everything.
Yeah, it's that too, definitely.
Yeah.
So
good.
Cherokee Rose, I said, this is where we see the last episode. We see Rick wear his sheriff's hat, where he gives it off to Carl. I thought that was interesting.
And he puts away his badges too.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? Cool. What do y'all think that represented?
Him knowing that I took it as him knowing he was never going to be a cop again. This is the way the world is going to be from now on. And there aren't, you know what I mean? Like, that badge doesn't mean anything. The hat, I think he just wanted to give it to Carl to give it to his son. But the badges, I think, was him putting away what was, you know what I mean? What was before.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Don?
I think it was like he was realizing there's no rules anymore.
Yeah.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah. It's a free for all now. It's survival of the fittest.
Well, in that case, why don't they just kill the governor and off Negan straight off? I mean, I know they were trying to off Negan, and that's what happened. But if there was no rules per se, why would they try to even talk to anybody about anything?
I think he didn't do that at the prison is because he was respecting Herschel, because Herschel wanted him to have some humanity left in him.
That's the thing about the show and the comics. I guess it's hard to adapt it to television, because in the comics, it makes you think Rick had no choice on either matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had no choice at all. And I guess it's hard to really adapt that onto the screen. I don't know, but right now I'm reading like the deluxe, version of the comics, the color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm getting confused because I'm exactly at the spot that we're watching. And I'm on like issue 10. And, one thing I was thinking about with these episodes too was how long Shane lasted, because where I'm reading, they're not even to Herschel's farm. Shane died a long time ago in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got more Shane. I mean, I love to hate Shane. I like Shane's character a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been the same without him there for as long as he was, even though everybody hates him and I hated him. Now with Lori, it's different. I can't stand Lori. I mean, not Lori, Andrea. I can't stand Andrea.
Dawn just had her heart go down in her chest. Go in her lap around Andrea. Dawn. She loves Andrea.
Well, I like Andrea from the comics. I just don't. I don't know. I didn't like her character in the show.
I just think they are a bad rap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't guess we were supposed to like her. I feel like we were supposed to sympathize with Shane a little, maybe. But I feel like Andrea was put in there to be like a passive antagonist. You know what I mean? which is, I mean, that's fine if that's what it is, and she's a great actor and she pulled it off just right. But she's probably my least favorite character besides Beth. I'll give you that. I don't like Beth that much.
Wondered if Rick would have saw her when she made it to the prison before the governor got her, what different would have happened, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't, I'll say that too. If it wasn't for all the governor stuff, it probably would be less hatred toward her. But
I think she just stuck her nose sometime where it didn't belong. Like she wanted to be a mediator and she didn't know what the hell she was talking about 90% of the time because the governor had her fooled.
Wasn't she alive or before the apocalypse?
I don't exactly remember.
I don't either.
You're the Andrea fan. You tell me.
Yeah, I think she was a lawyer.
Hey, I'll tell you though, she's a badass in the books. I've got a shirt with her on it from the books. I love her in the books.
That's really cool. I never, I have most of the deluxe ones, but I never even tried to break out a comic.
Oh, you got to read them.
Yeah.
So what? Let's see. We were talking about. Are we moving on to the third or the fourth one now?
Yeah, we're already
in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the Herschel stuff in that one was killer. Like, the whole scene that they did the flashback to whenever Rick was, having his hallucinations where they're overlooking the land. Now that was some CGI, wasn't it, Jimmy?
Yes, sir, it was.
I mean, I was about to say, where would that mountain be? It looked like a mountain from up here.
Well, the only one that could be around here would probably be down there in actual Woodbury on top of that hill. Yeah. But I don't know if they were using it at the time, so it had to be CG. I think it would.
Yeah, it looks CG, but not terribly bad.
And wasn't that, if you look at the flashback, wasn't that Scott Wilson's last scene he ever filmed? Because he died shortly after. He had cancer.
Yeah, that was his last scene, I would say.
Yeah.
Or did he even film that, or was it?
He did. I think he did film that. They brought him back for it, I think. I remember a Walker Stalker was going on around that time, and I think he still was alive. If I remember correctly. It's been a while.
No, I think he. Let's see. Well, he might have just died when that aired, but I mean, he would have been around to film it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying film it. Not. Yeah, I don't know if he actually seen it air. No, but I think they had just found out he had cancer. Let's face it, Scott died really quick.
He did.
After we find out. So, I remember me running into him a couple times in Sonoya, and he looked cool back then, and all of a sudden you could see his deterioration, as sad cancer is. So, yeah.
But yeah, and then I don't know, that the whole interactions with Glenn and Maggie were they're just so awkward. Like, I'll have sex with you. Who says that? Who's just like, I'll have sex with you?
You mean to be honest?
The kind of girls you've been with?
No, I'm just saying, that's the typical thing,
At the pharmacy during the freaking zombie apocalypse, is like, I'll have sex with you.
I've never had a girl say that, by the way, Steve.
No, I don't.
Like it was like a thing they just threw it in there. But no, I think honestly, between me and you, I think Glenn was really awkward, and that's the only way Maggie could get through it. If she wanted to do it with anybody, I think he was just an awkward kid.
Well, and also she was, she didn't experience what they had. She was secluded at the farm.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, that's where he went to hide. So
yeah. Let me ask you this, Jimmy. This is a story that I've always heard and always told on tour.
Yeah.
So Steve's Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that they named it Steve's Pharmacy because there was a guy who won one of those. Remember when you used to, instead of the Walking Dead rewards, it used to be you would enter in a code word and you would be entered in to be a walker for the next year, a walker for a day.
Well, I think that's what happened to Jeremy Ambler, if I'm not mistaken. That's how he got on the show.
Well, from what I heard for that season, or for that, like I guess it was for that season, whoever had won I don't know. That would have been early on though, if they even did it back then. But I heard that the guy that won, that was supposed to come be a walker, he ended up finding out he was allergic to some of the plastics and the prosthetics.
Yeah.
And he was from Chicago, so he only got in there. I don't even think he got any shots that made the cut. And I heard they let him meet like all the actors and get pictures and all that good stuff. And then in honor of him, they named that pharmacy after him, Steve's Pharmacy.
I've never heard that story, but it is plausible. I mean, would make sense.
Yeah, I think, I don't know where I got it from a tour script. So I'm assuming, whenever we got those, they were pretty good researched.
Yeah, I would assume so, especially coming to Atlanta movie tours. I would think so. I remember the girl off the Clear episode. Remember when Miss Shawn and Carl came up out of the door, and you had that one girl that had like the little piece of the window was shaded out, and she was looking through it. Little Asian girl. She won that same contest. I think Jamily Ambler won it. I guess this Steve guy won it, and he was never on there. So that would make sense.
Yeah, but I was telling somebody, if it was me, I would be like, you got to put my full name on there. It's got to be like Stephen Sweeps Pharmacy. That way, you couldn't just say it was you.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't he have pictures and stuff of it? I mean, if it was me and I couldn't do that, I would stand outside the pharmacy and look at my pharmacy, bitches.
Yeah.
I think I would have pictures of it and everything.
I had a guy that I did a private tour for, speaking of contests, that won or that got to do that dinner at the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was talking about that, and he had pictures and stuff. And I don't know, I feel like they kind of got a raw deal out of that. They only took them to see. It was weird. They said they picked them up from, I guess, the airport in downtown Atlanta or outside of Atlanta, or maybe they met at a hotel in Atlanta. And they took them in Terminus in Caldwell or Collier Metals. They took them inside there. They drove them through. I'm wanting to say he said Alexandria.
Yeah.
And then drove them straight to the entrance. And I don't even know if they went to the backside, but they went straight to the entrance to the sanctuary and went in and ate. So, I mean, I would have thought it was supposed to include a tour. He said they wouldn't take them back to the hilltop and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you would think.
Remember the kids on Make-A-Wish? I remember Norman did a bunch of stuff. They took them into Terminus and all that stuff, and Norman spent a lot of time with them kids, man.
He took them to arcades and stuff too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff for them kids. I remember I was like, 15, 20 kids, and he took all of them around and spent time with them all. He did a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I just remember seeing pictures of him and another big actor from The Walking Dead with a bunch of them at an arcade. I can't remember when that was, though.
Yeah, I remember it was around the same time as they were filming Terminus. Or it might have been an Entertainment Weekly shoots of Terminus. Because I remember it was around that same time. Because they actually went to Terminus and watched filming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I've been trying to get in. Well, I hadn't never tried, but I'd like to get into Terminus sometime. I'm sure you could call your metals, and they'd probably let you go in there.
Well, that's something we need to work on then, man. We need to see if we can get inside of that thing.
I got the phone number. It's posted on their gate.
Well, while we're waiting on Stephen calling, we're going to go over to my subject.
Well, I have to ride by there and get it. But
yep, there you
I
go.
don't see why they wouldn't. I've known some people. I think Twelman's gotten there before, and Darren.
Well, let's do this then. How about this? Just throwing it out there. So we're going to call this guy and see if we can watch the premiere episode of this coming up season as the last premiere episode, actually in Terminus.
Oh, you know what, though? I've heard that they won't do anything like that.
Well, that's
somebody. What happened was, and this is why Atlanta Movie Tours couldn't take tours in there. Somebody had planned a big party there and gotten the permission of the landowners to do it, and they they mentioned AMC Walking Dead like in the title of the party without having permission.
Wow.
And AMC went after Collier Metals. They went after them, you know, and since then they haven't trusted anybody, you know what I mean, to do any kind of event or something like that. They hadn't trusted anybody to do that. So
that they signed an NDA basically, and they were going after them for it.
Well, that and the rules are weird. Like if you're like background like me, and say I wanted to do a convention, I don't really do conventions. I just go and have fun. But if I wanted to do a convention, and if I put on my banner, I'd have to put, if I put Walking Dead on there, I have to put like 2 other things. I can't just put The Walking Dead. It's weird. There's all kind of weird rules is what I'm getting at. Little rules you have to go by. And yeah, I'm assuming it's all covered in your NDA. Yeah.
You know, that's interesting because I remember we were trying to get Marlene and I, back when we did the Walker signings, we used to try to get people's rights to their pictures. Mm-hmm. And we pretty much learned this. Once, like, if you get certain rights to certain pictures, they won't use you ever again in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and it's very hard to get your prints. Like, okay, so you know Gene Page, the official photographer. Yeah. I know him well, and like I tried to contact AMC to the person that is in charge of giving people their prints, and like I had contacted Gene, and he said that he knew he had taken plenty of pictures of me while we were filming because I knew him beforehand. And he said he had gotten quite a few of me, just me, so they could be turned into prints. But then when I tried to get the prints themselves, they would come back real quick with a response that says, oh, we couldn't find any with just you in the picture, or that didn't have a main cast member. Because you can't have prints, not official prints, that have a main cast member in it.
Yeah. And I remember we used to get them like, I don't want to put anybody's business, but there's a certain walker out there. I'm not going to say his name. We could get one picture of one of his walkers he played, but it was not the iconic walker. So they didn't let him have those rights to that one because they didn't want nobody to take that walker and say, hey, this is this guy. That way they lose money on it.
And that way, if they make an action figure too, he can't get no money from it. They get it all. That's like,
yes, that's exactly what happened. Yes.
That's like Charlie that works used to work with us at Atlanta Movie Tours. He had an action figure made out of him, and it's like he didn't see a dime.
No. Well, you know, this is Travis I'm talking about since you named Charlie.
Yeah.
Travis tried the same thing. He tried to get his rights just to the R.B. Walker prints. He was able to get one where he was on the floor and she was stabbing him, but they try to say since it was her arm, Andrea's arm, that it was another actor and he couldn't get those. Well, then he tried to get the one of him just standing by himself without a screwdriver, and it was no go. They're like, you can't get any of that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff we used to try to do with those guys, and it got so technical. Marlene's like, I don't even want to call him anymore. It's so hard to get them. So
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. You pretty much have to have like just a shot of yourself, like. Even if I took it, like I said, the way Gene put it to me was that they could use any shots from filming, you know, or whatever that he took there on set. And he said that there were plenty of me, but they were quick to say there wasn't. So I don't even think they looked. I think they just, you know, didn't want to look maybe.
Well, I mean, there again, it's a tough road because if you make copies of your own, they'll come after you for that too. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, but then again, I don't know. You can do stuff like the dead cards. You can do stuff like the dead cards where he's not using your image from the show. I know he doesn't from mine. He uses just a picture, you know, and puts graphics with it.
Well, I'm basically saying from the show. That's what everybody wants. So that's what the hard part was. I remember there's another walker that actually printed his own crap. And it was he got in trouble for it. And then we had, I think Moses, he was just basically printing off pictures of himself, which was really cool. He actually did get rights to his pictures.
Moses had it good too because he was on the front of Entertainment Weekly. So, I mean, he could have bought a crap load of those and sold those, you know, and he did. He did that for a while.
But he's still selling Funko Pops on his face. I mean, he's still selling them and signing them on Funko Pops and stuff on his Facebook page. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they can do anything about that, though.
He's doing good, man. Like I said, Moses always had the right, the right, per se, attitude about everything. He's always went about it the right way.
Yeah, I've gotten his autograph on just about everything. I got it on the Pop, the AMC figure, and I went ahead and got it on the comic book pet figure too.
There you go.
I've never met Sashay though. Is he going to be there?
Yeah, Sashay's going to be there. We used to work with both of them. Sashay's cool too.
Yeah, I never got to meet him. Moses was probably the first person I met associated, besides Carl. I mean, besides Chandler. Moses was probably one of the first people I met associated with the show. We met in Peachtree and we talked for a while. Yeah,
I met him back when we were trying to get him to do his autograph signings. The first ever time he did it, and we did him. We actually had him signing in Granville and Harrelson. But Moses has been on all kind of stuff. He was in 42 before Walking Dead. Then he was in Walking Dead, and he was in what is it? Another Netflix show. Southern.
Queen of the South.
Yeah, Queen of the South. He's been in all kind of stuff.
I think he had a pretty big role in Black Lightning too.
He did.
Like a bad guy.
Yeah, I remember 42. You had Jackie Robinson, the guy that played in Black Panther. He was hitting baseballs, and if you look behind him, Moses is on the fence line chilling out. So,
oh, that's cool. They filmed some of that up here close to where I live in Chattanooga.
That's cool, man. Very cool.
Just a couple of scenes. They used the really historical tour. I mean, historical stadium, Ingle Stadium. It's not there anymore, I don't think. But it was the Lookout Stadium back in the day.
Oh yeah. Also, they filmed a lot of that in Macon as well. They filmed a lot of that.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was mostly filmed in Macon.
Mm-hmm. I can't even tell you what hotels and stuff they used. I was all over that set, so yeah.
Yeah, I think they only came up to Chattanooga just to get a few shots of an away game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, though, man.
It was probably like the closest, like, real historical field they could find.
Remember that pitcher that was pitching to Jackie Robinson? He was real racist, and he said all kind of names to him and stuff. I remember I was standing like in McGuire's one day, and that actor came through the door. And I'm like, I know that dude from somewhere. And I started looking at 42. I'm like, that's that guy. And it's just kind of cool. You don't never know who you're going to meet in Sonoya.
Yeah, that's true. Have I ever talked about, did I tell y'all about Millie Bobby Brown being in there like 3 months ago?
Elaborate, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these two girls, they both had little dogs. They walk in to the museum, and we're in there, selling tickets. And, well, Cindy's selling tickets, and Cindy tries to sell them a tour. And she responded, and she had a British accent. They had masks on. This was longer than 3 months. I don't know what I'm thinking about. It was probably like last October. But, yeah, she had a mask on, so you couldn't really tell it was her. Nobody knew it was her. But I heard her speak, and I was like, man, that's Millie Bobby Brown. And I said something to Cindy, and she's like, no way. So I went down. She went to the Woodbury shop. So I went downstairs, and I went up to Melissa, the manager. I was like, hey, Millie Bobby Brown's in here, don't you? And she was like, no. And then she was standing right there, and Melissa was like, are you Millie Bobby Brown? And she like pulled her mask down and said, yeah. And then like somebody else asked her for a picture, and she said no, that she had to meet somebody. And this was when the pandemic was pretty bad. It might have even been before October. But she probably wasn't supposed to be out in public too much, so she probably didn't want to take pictures. I wanted to get a picture with her, but I didn't ask since she already said no to somebody, Yeah,
once you get the verdict from somebody else, you don't throw another bone out there. So
yeah. But it was pretty cool to see her. Yeah, to see her, just hanging out and looking at the stuff in the museum, and then going down to the Woodbury shop. I don't know if she's a big fan or not of The Walking Dead.
She is a pretty big fan of The Walking Dead. Yeah. I think she's been going in and out of The Walking Dead since that show's been going, ain't she?
Yeah, I know
y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, like she would post pictures with her with shirts about Negan, I think. I think her and Jeffrey Dean Morgan had hung out before. Had they worked together? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I really don't. But I don't know either. I ain't never looked into it.
I know Dustin, that Gayton kid. I know he is He's a fan from Stranger Things because he came to Nick and Norman. Do you remember that?
I remember. I wasn't there, but I remember you were there, right?
No, I wasn't there. I think I was. I don't know if I was during their social media at the time, but they had gotten a picture of him holding Lucille. So I know he's a fan.
Jeff Wagner probably met her. He met everybody at Nick and Norm's. He hangs out there. Jeff Wagner's always there.
The one up here's doing pretty good.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I still gotta get up there.
It's not doing good. I mean, it's weird. And this is what they were wanting to do. Because I was helping them when I was doing the social media. I was helping with the franchise stuff a little bit. So they were wanting to kind of open some that would attract different crowds. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And they put it in a really good location. They gets a lot of college kids, it's around a lot of other bars. So, I mean, you just get people that might not even know about The Walking Dead that just wander in because it's a really cool building.
Cool.
Although they do have Daryl's motorcycle, and that's what I get asked about the most when I'm in the museum. And I wish they'd bring that on back.
I don't think that's coming back, boss. I really don't.
I don't either. They don't have room for it, for one thing.
That room's too tiny. I kind of miss the old setup, man. I miss it being upstairs.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but then I don't know. It works, I guess. It looks a lot classier as far as the museum, and then it feels like there's more room downstairs. But yeah, I miss it being upstairs. I mean, that's always going to be comfortable to me.
Yeah, I just didn't understand why they moved it downstairs. I don't get that.
Well, when I was doing the social media there for a long time, the plan was to knock out the wall between Woodbury Shop and The Waking Dead and make it one big thing with like a counter over here for The Waking Dead, and they were going to have more merchandise in front of it. You know what I mean? They were going to merge the two and make it just a big space, but I don't know what happened with that plan. It was like, I don't know, 6 months later, you got the news that they were going to be moving downstairs.
I think it was COVID, man. I think COVID messed a lot of stuff up, and I think that was a big part of it because you didn't have the influx of people. And I think maybe Scott, the one that owns the Woodbury Shop, partially. I think that ain't that his daughter downstairs or his niece, the ones that own the boot store, ain't that his daughter? I think maybe that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's his daughter or something. They're related.
Yeah. I think that's more or less what it was. I think that he wanted the space. The space wasn't being profitable the way it should have been. I think maybe that's why she ended up with it. Maybe. I don't know. She's a really sweet girl. She's really nice, but I just don't see it anywhere else besides there.
Yeah, I don't know. I always assumed it was the money part of it. They probably wanted to pay more money, but with that being such a prime spot right there on the corner.
Yeah. So what you think, Miss Ellen? You've been quiet.
I was letting you all talk.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, no. I was done. But yeah, that's what Monica was saying in the comments. I forgot about that. She posted a pic that day with her in front of the arch, the arch where that little alleyway is, where Merle and Andrea first saw each other and where Milton and Andrea used to conspire to leave Woodbury. Yeah, she took a picture later on that day. I felt bad because I felt like I outed her. Like I put on Facebook that I just saw her, and then next thing you knew, there was like a ton of people in town looking for her. But I mean, I didn't mean to. I didn't think people would do that. I was just saying I just saw Millie Bobby Brown. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you probably didn't mean to there, Mr. Steven. It's okay. You're forgiven. You'll be all right.
Well, it's like when we got that picture with Jeffrey Dean Morgan in front of the garden center. I've heard people say it all the time now that he hangs out there. And I mean, he really doesn't. He was just there. He happened to be there buying flowers or plants the day we rode by, Yeah. So, I mean, I heard there was a ton of people down there after that, just waiting.
Well, my stepdaughter run into him 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah?
he was at the Starbucks over there on Thomas Crossroads buying a Starbucks, and Shelby ran into him and got her to sign her cup. And I'm like, why'd you get him to sign your cup? She goes, it was freaking cool. I'm like, okay, you sign a cup.
Which Starbucks?
So there in front of Thomas Crossroads. You know where that, you know where the Kroger is between Peachtree City and Noonan? Right there, there's a Publix. There's a Starbucks over there next side of the Pets. It's like a Pets supermarket. Right there, next side of the Goodwill parking lot. Where he was.
In Noonan?
It's in Sharpsburg technically, so it's between Noonan and Peachtree City. Yeah, it's on 34. Okay. 34, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm too familiar with that one, but I probably am. I don't know the street names.
I got you. So if you go on Bullsboro Drive, you go straight to Peachtree City, the main strip. It goes straight through there. It'll be on your right.
Okay. I'll have to go hang out there. I'd get him to sign my cup too.
I'd got a picture with him before I get him to sign the cup. I'm just saying, I'd at least get a picture with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they go on Best Buy quite a bit. I know that.
Who's that? Norman and Jeffrey?
Both of them. And, Michael Rooker's been hanging out in Peachtree City, so he's got a bunch of pictures there too.
Yeah, he's been around Peachtree City and Fayetteville.
Yes, he has. That's what I'm saying. He goes in there all the time.
Now, I'm beginning to wonder, did he move to Fayetteville?
Well, I know the lady that his
manager lives in Fayetteville. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I don't know. He's been around so much. I was wondering if he made the move to Georgia. You know what I mean?
He might. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch him that hard. I don't know.
Yeah. I barely keep social media.
Yeah, I barely can keep up with myself, much less somebody else. So. So how you feeling tonight, Miss Dawn? You've been quiet for like 30 minutes.
I'll let you.
Well, we're running our mouths. She can't help it.
That's right.
What you do is just say, shut up. We're like, okay.
Yeah, you just got to do like me and just cut in.
There you
I'm
go.
just excited to see you all in about 3 days.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be at the camp. We want everybody to come. If you want to hang out with me and Cindy Sumner Wednesday night, I think it starts at 5 or 6. Just come on up. I think the doors get locked at 6 o'clock, so nobody else is allowed up. So make sure you get there before that. And we're going to go over our memories of Grantville. I got quite a bit. I know Cindy does. And I think we're going to have quite a few guests that's coming in to surprise everybody. Kind of hanging out. We're going to have a great time. Okay. I think the entrance fee is like $10. It's inexpensive. Nice night to hang out. We're going to kind of go over some stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm so mad at myself. I did a private tour not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago maybe, and we took them into the apartment, and I didn't even think to get any pictures of my own, like any selfies or with me and Monica. I didn't even think to. I was in tour mode. You know what I mean? Yeah,
but to be honest with you, it's going to go and start getting those pictures, Stephen, because, I mean, it's going to be gone, man. I actually talked to the guy that bought it. He's going to turn it into an Airbnb or whatever, and that room's going to be gone. I don't know what he's going to do with the wall, but it's not going. That room's not going to be there anymore. So
that sucks. So when is that going to happen? I'll have to book some more private tours so I can go get some more pictures.
I think between me and you, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. Miss Mary knows a lot more information than I do, but I think it's around July sometime. It's final.
Yeah, I had talked to Mary when I did that tour. She met us there, and she was acting like he didn't know, like he might leave it, but I don't know. That was a few weeks back. Things change.
Yeah, I talked to him personally. Actually, I'm a big mouth, so when I see stuff, I ask questions. So this guy was standing in front of me at the gas station next side of my house, and it's called the bricks on the wall or something. And it had a phone number, and I was like, hey, is that a picture of Grantville? And he's like, yeah, I just bought it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to choke you. You going to do anything in that apartment? He goes, yeah, I'm going to change it. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right. So I was like, this is me. This is what I do. I can't explain myself. I was like, it'd be beneficial to kind of keep it up. I kind of explained stuff and talked to him for a while, but he's pretty adamant about it. I do have his phone number and everything. I gave it to Cindy. I was going to send
Give it out. Give it out live right now so we can all.
No. So like I talked to him. I got Cindy to talk to him, and I'm Mary talked to him. But honestly, between me and you, I think he's going to take it down.
You didn't let me talk to him.
I'm not giving you his number, Don. I love you, but I know you. You're like, I'm gonna choke him. No, he's honestly a sweet guy. I think he just don't have. I don't think he understands the fandom. So it is what it is.
To watch the show.
Well, and the sad thing about it is nothing lasts forever. I mean, we can't expect it to stay the same forever. It sucks. It sucks bad, but I mean, we had to see it coming eventually.
Yeah. All right, guys. You got any final words?
Just that. Excited to see everybody that's coming to the camp.
Oh yeah. Homework, Don. What we got?
Episode 5 and 6. It is Chupacabra and Secrets.
Okay, guys. I'd like to thank our sponsors. We get our little sponsor thing. Well, it went away. Okay, there we go. The Walking Dead tour in Harrelson, the Water Tower tour, Auto Rats Plus, the camp, of course, Abraham's Army, Survive the Night, Zontography from Danielle. I think she was in the comments down here. The Walking Dead is amazing group. Miss Dawn's a big part of it. And the Walking Dead Horror Nation. I'd like to thank y'all guys for coming by and hang out with us tonight. We really appreciate y'all. Love you guys. Any final words?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everybody that tunes in every week. And sorry I wasn't here last week. I'll make it up.
I'm not. I ain't had a day off on this thing in a while. So, yeah, that's the first episode I ever had off. Even when I had surgery,
I've been pretty steady, too. You got to admit. Since I came
you and Don's been straight and narrow. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Y'all have a great night. See you later.